Hi, welcome back to BOC News. I'm your host, the Commissioner, with my co-host, Coldface Toothpick,
Week 5, let's go.
and my other co-host, the lovely Miss Fisha. She's not with us. She had an appointment that she just couldn't get out of, so it's just us two. So, shall we get started?
What we're waiting on.
First game, Tribe of Benjamin versus Jug Squad. Tribe of Benjamin took this one in blowout of the week. Blowout of the week. It went down. It went down. Yes, Tribe of Benjamin took this from 164 to 85. An incredible win. Their second win of the season, but nevertheless, they took advantage of a struggling 0-5 team now. What you got on this one?
Well, I actually put my money on Joe Squad to pick up the victory. they're the opposite of undefeated. They're is there a word for that?
Yes, they haven't tasted sweet victory yet.
They haven't tasted sweet victory yet. So I was expecting them to win, but nope. Huge gap, and it shows the difference between the teams and who was the better team this week and who has been the better team this season in general. And that was Tribe of Benjamin. They picked up the victory. Deshaun Watson with a great 38 points. Odell with 38 points as well. Both MVPs of that team, of the game in general. And that was the way Tribe was able to pick up the victory over J Squad.
Yeah, it was pretty impressive. Tribe of Benjamin. Odell was clowning a little bit. I think he even threw a touchdown pass in that one. Incredible. Well, let's talk about the next one. Heavy hitters and bushwhackers. There was a lot of trash talking on the wire on this one. I was excited to see how this one turned out. Not only heavy hitters held their own against the trash talking king on the wire this week, but she pulled this one out in royal fashion, 165 to 95. Incredible. What do you got on this one?
Yeah, shout out to heavy hitters. Big Ben getting them 38 points. Antonio Brown getting 32 points. Both MVPs of this game. Heavy hitters was able to show that they were easily the better team this week. They opened up the point margin in this. Bushwhackers didn't even come close. So I'm sure Heavy Hitters is having a great time enjoying this sweet victory over Bushwhackers.
Next game, we got Immortal Mortals and JC for Life. Immortal Mortals took this one 143 to 119. So, tell me what you got on this one.
Shout out to Drew Brees, MVP of the game with 51 points. A huge difference in getting Immortal Mortals this victory. Shout out to Immortal Mortals. They're on a roll right now. They 3-game win streak, I believe.
Absolutely.
Or 2-game. They won 3. They're 3-2. And speaking with Immortal Mortals this week, they have all anticipation to win the ship this season. And to do that, you have to win these games on the route to the ship. And that's what they're doing right now. So shout out to them.
Well, speaking of Mortal Mortals, got every intentions on winning the ship this week. I had a little talk with Tribe of Benjamin. Tribe of Benjamin sent a message to Mortal Mortals because that's their next opponent. Set your lineup this week. Drew Brees isn't going to be able to help you. Saints on the bye. So you got an open spot in your quarterback slot. You need to set your lineup if you want to battle the Tribe this week. Any thoughts, concerns on that one?
Well, I spoke to the Mortal Mortals, and they want me to let the Tribe of Benjamin know to just, worry about their team, worry about the loss, worry about coping with the loss they're going to take this week from them, and that they're not going to make the same mistake they made last season. Breaking news, the Tribe of Benjamin did have Immortal Mortals locked in a dungeon. I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm starting rumors right here. But I just know the Mortimores told me that they're not going to make the same mistake, and for Tribe to just focus on the upcoming loss that's about to be upon them.
Interesting thoughts and concerns. We're going to be looking forward to checking on that battle as the week transpire. Next game, the Tribe Killer and Mob Squad. This was the game of the week. All intents purposes, everybody was tuning into these two last unbeaten Titans going head to head in week 5. The Tribe Killer pulled this one out 124-86. So, what do you have on that?
The Tribe Killer, they showed why they're the most consistent team in this league. Mob Squad was the number 2 team in the league, right?
And yes, it was.
And they showed if the number 2 team in the league is this far behind the number 1 team in the league, then the rest of the teams, they're going to have to step up if they're going to compete with the Tribe Killer. Tribe Killer dominated this week against the second best in the league, and it wasn't even close. So if this is a trend that's going to continue, then we can have every anticipation for the Tribe Killer to pick up a ship this year.
All I can say is this. 2 unbeaten Titans. Somebody had to take the L, and this week it was Mob Squad. We predicted Tribe Killer to take this one. Our co-host, the one that was not here.
The one that didn't show up, just like Mob Squad didn't show up.
She predicted Mob Squad to win, and that wasn't the case. Nevertheless, Mob Squad, this is your first loss. You still tied in second place with You Better Not. So you're still in the hunt. Just do what you got to do. On to the last but not least game of the week. You got our first champion, You Better Not, going against our current and reigning champion, Run Up to 7. You Better Not pull this one out 149-140. So break this one down for me.
Well, You Better Not showed why they're not playing this year. 149-140. They pulled it out, and that's with Aaron Rodgers, who's Run Up 7's quarterback, scoring an impressive 58 points, and that still wasn't enough to defeat You Better Not, whose quarterback Goff only scored 28 points. So You Better Not's on a roll. They're only one loss this season, and that was the first week. They've been undefeated since then, and this continues, and they're definitely in the top prime position to get a ship this year, to win a second ship.
All I can say, you have 2 teams going in opposite directions. Week 1, Run Up to 7 won, and then have 4 straight losses. Week 1, You Better Not lost, and now have 4 straight wins. Interesting concept, but we know Run Up to 7 is going back to the dungeons. Don't count them out. They're going to do their homework, and they're going to fight back in this thing. Closing remarks for a couple of teams. First and foremost, we got our one team who hasn't tasted victory yet this year. Step your game up, son, because it ain't too late, but the door's closing real soon. Secondly, our current and reigning champion, we need to hear a little bit more from you, sir. And we don't need to hear it on the wire. We need to hear it in your play, because you are current and reigning champ, but you only got 1 win. So the commissioner's calling you out. Let's play. And then you got 4 teams that's 2-3. These teams can go any way. You got Tribe of Benjamin. We don't know what's going on with this team. 1 minute they look like they're in the hunt. The next minute they look like they need to be in the cellar. Then you got Bushwhacker, who's basically a mirror image of Tribe of Benjamin. Then you got heavy hitters. I like this team a little bit more than the other 2, because even when they lost, they still looked strong. And then you got JC for Life, which I'm kind of not worried about this team, because this team always found a way to be in a higher level of the lead. And this is the first time ever this team is dropped below 500 ever. So I'm not really worried about this team. Any comments on those?
No, I think you said it all.
And you got Immortal Mortals, who's dead smack in the middle, who's 3-2. It win next week. It's 4-2. It's sitting in prime position to keep pushing for postseason. And then, of course, you got Mob Squad that's 4-1, and our first champion, You Better Not, who's 4-1. These teams are looking pretty. All they need to do is keep doing what they've been doing, and they'll be fine. And of course, yours truly, Tribe Killer. So there you have it. With that said, thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the battle. Peace.